Nocked and Ready to Rock.
In our last segment, we tied on our knocking points, so now we're ready to put on our D-loop. I'm a big fan of D-loops because, one, if traditionally you're used to hooking your release aid right to the string, a D-loop can really prevent that wear on the string itself. Also, D-loops are great because you can adjust the length of them when you tie them on, so that if you want to slightly alter your draw length, you can do that with this D-loop rather than having to adjust your cams or your bow. The other thing is, a D-loop is great for keeping your pull the exact same all the time because your string isn't spinning. It's always holding the string in the same spot as you draw back. So your peep sight really is going to stay in that same position if you have a high quality string. This is really an easy step, and one thing that I'd recommend you do for practice is simply go through these motions that I show you to actually learn how to tie these knots correctly with your loops, but just don't secure them down and actually burn the knot. By having about a 1 foot piece of material and just practicing on how to loop it through the correct way is a great way to learn how to do it right. So I'm going to go ahead and show you close up exactly how easy it is to put on a D-loop. Now to tie my D-loop, I'm going to go ahead and make a J just like this, and I'm going to put it on the back side of the string. I'm going to take this loop and I'm going to pull both of my tabs through this loop, just like this. I'm going to pull it tight as you can. Then you're going to want to take a pair of pliers and continue to pull this as tight as you can with that pair of pliers. Also, I try to pinch this down flat. Make sure you're against the top of the knock, and again, pull it tight all the way. Then we're going to cut this. We're going to leave about 1/4 inch, and we're going to fuzz this up without loosening it. Then we're going to take our lighter. We're going to go ahead and burn that down. And we're going to touch it and make a small ball just like that. Make sure that you don't burn your actual loop. Now we're going to take the remainder of this loop material. We're going to make a small loop and we're going to bring it to this side of the string. We're going to loop it underneath and then through the middle, just like this. And we're going to adjust this to about the length loop that we're going to want, which is about 3/4 of an inch, 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. Then we're going to take this long piece, we're going to go over the back of the string, and we're going to go under the string, then back through the middle. Now we're going to take our pliers. We're going to tighten this again. We're going to cut it. We're going to fuzz it up. All right, as you can see, we've completely have our D-loop tied. So now we're all set with our knock and loop configuration. So we're going to move on to the next step in the next segment of Nocked and Ready to Rock.
Nocked and Ready to Rock.